On the theory that it's never too early to start collecting your rejections, your assignment for this module is to put together a grant application. Your sample grant application will include a lot of things that you've already completed, but we'll ask you to do a little bit of research and to put together a budget. Ultimately, what you will be submitting is a PDF that includes a cover letter, the application form, a project description of the thing that you are hoping to do, the budget that analyzes how you're going to get it paid for, and any other requirements that the funder wants for their application. Some might ask for a letter of recommendation. Some might ask for what's called an impact statement, where you're defining how you think this is going to change either your practice or the lives of the people who have access to your proposal. Whatever they ask for, go ahead and include it. When you're applying for funding, you'll also need to have the support materials that you always include in your portfolio: images and an image list, an artist statement and a CV, and any other documentation they require. You don't have to give me those for this assignment because we've covered them elsewhere. A brief note on cover letters. You won't always be asked for one, but this is as good a place as any to talk about what you want to make sure that you include. You want an opening paragraph that states specifically why you are writing. This is especially true for things like soliciting a gallery. Make sure that you have a specific call to action. What is the thing that you want? What are you hoping to get? Let them know specifically what you're applying for. You're going to want to give them some background information about yourself, why you're interested in the opportunity, and why you are the perfect fit, the person that they were dreaming of when they came up with this whatever it is that they do. Probably you want a brief summation of your work. Here's another opportunity for you to explain how your work relates to their interests. And then a concluding paragraph where you say again what it is that you were hoping they would get. Make sure that you give contact information somewhere, and thank them for their time. For our project, go ahead and download their application form and fill it out for real. If they're asking unique questions and you would like feedback from me, make sure that I know what part you want me to look at. Otherwise, I'm going to focus on the project description. For the project description, you want to create a clear, concise, and compelling description of how you would take advantage of their specific opportunity. As much as we are cutting and pasting the same project into multiple applications, take the time to rewrite your application so that it is specifically geared to the values of that organization. What is their essential question? What is the thing they are hoping their support will do? And then you reflect those interests in your project, which is not to say that you create a project just to match their funding goals, but that you highlight the ways in which the thing you want to do is exactly the kind of thing they want to support. Remember to write from a position of awesome. For the budget, make it real. Account for everything that you possibly can. Go ahead and get price quotes so that you're using real numbers. If you need 16 2x4s, how much does 16 2x4s cost? It is completely appropriate for you to include some way in which you, as the artist, get paid for your time and for your efforts. And be sure that you're paying your collaborators. If somebody's willing to volunteer or donate, that's great, but write your budget as if you're having to pay for everything. Let me know if they have other special requirements. Who are you going to contact for a letter of recommendation? Have you written the impact statement, or whatever else it is that they're asking you for? I don't need you to give me the support materials unless in some way it's very unusual or they've changed since the last time we saw them. Here are a couple of good organizations for you to look at, either because they support artists earlier in their career, that's you, or because they have very informative and helpful websites. Colorado Creative Industries has a professional development matching grant. Matching grants are increasingly common, where you have to provide half of the funding from some source other than the foundation, but they'll match it dollar for dollar. Colorado Creative Industries wants to give you up to $2,500 for some project that's going to help you on your path to being an independent artist. This could be equipment, this could be travel, this could be some other opportunity. Both Creative Capital and the Guggenheim Fellowship are geared towards more established artists, but Creative Capital in particular makes it their mission to explain the application process while they're making you go through it. Looking at their website's resources for the Creative Capital Award will often give you a good idea on how to describe your project. Pollock Krasner Foundation supports artists earlier in their career. The Q Foundation has an application for emerging artists to apply for an exhibition, but they also have a clear and detailed explanation on how to put together a budget to support that exhibition. For the purposes of this assignment, doing the work to create a Kickstarter or to set up a Patreon would count, as would applying for residencies or grad school. You don't have to do one of the things on the list. Researching your own would be great. I'm highlighting these because of the way in which they take their mission of supporting artists to the point of educating artists on how to go through this process. Ultimately, for your sample grant, you're going to be making 2 submissions to me. One is a PDF of the grant application. The other is where you outline the budget.